Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back again? Fresh off of vacation. Hello, gather around, gather around. Thank you for joining me. If you are able to make this live stream, as always, thank you for joining another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. As always, I'm your humble host, Stefano, and we're bringing you another good one. All right. Yeah, I know I've been gone a couple of weeks on vacation in Colombia, but need to take some time away from the game and from work just to take time for me. Sometimes you need to do that for yourself. It was well needed, got well rested, had a great time in Colombia, but now I'm back. But before we get started, I got an announcement to make. So, I am no longer a single man. I am going to be married, y'all. Me and the beautiful Lakikina are now engaged. So when you see her in the chat, put some respect on her name because she's now the future Mrs. Stefano. All right. Make sure y'all be respectful. And remember, that's what we do over here. We show respect. We give respect. Right. Now that we got that announcement out of the way, we got a good one, another one from the Diddler himself, aka Diddy. Now, he's fighting a lawsuit from one of the accusers that basically saying he assaulted them. So we're not going to take too much time. We're going to get right into the video so we can talk about this. We're going to do a blind reaction to it to see exactly what's going on with this, because he has become one of the most talked about people on the planet Earth. Even when I was in Colombia, this guy was talked about on the news. He's talked about everywhere. So it's only right that we talk about him over here on this channel. We're going to do a blind reaction today. But before we get started, as always, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. All right. Make sure that you hit that like button. All right. Because we need you to keep on pushing out these videos and keep on subscribing so we can get the subscriber count up. We're over the 250 subscriber mark, and we're still growing and growing and growing. So thank you to everyone that is supporting the channel, everyone that has already previously subscribed, and thank you to everyone who will be subscribed in the future. You're the real supporters. You're the real MVPs. And I want to thank you ahead of time. Me and my beautiful fiance want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the support now and in the future. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. And we're going to go ahead and start talking about this because this man here is horrible. I don't know what he was thinking about, but let's talk about it. All right. So, I'm sharing my screen, and we're going to see what's going on with this lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit that he's trying to dismiss is the lawsuit from Miss Joy Dickerson Neal. So, I believe she's one of the first people that have accused him of assault. Now, recently, the lead attorney just did a video where a woman came out and said 22 years ago, Diddy assaulted her as well. She had DNA still from that time frame. Now, if that is the truth, then that probably will be one of the first one. But this one occurred right before he formed Bad Boy and took on the moniker probably of Puff Daddy or whatever he was calling himself back then. But before we get started, once again, say hello to my beautiful fiance, Lakikina. Gracias, Lakikina. All right. And yes, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell, right? I got some videos from Colombia that I recorded while I was down there. I shared some of the pictures on my community tab. So if you want to see some of those beautiful views, go to the community tab and check them out. But I got some videos that I'm going to post whenever I get some more free time of being in the mall down there in Belgium and Medellin, just so you can see what it's like, because a lot of people were told you can't go to Belgium. That's a lie. I was there, and my fiance is from Belgium. So I was all through Belgium, through Fabricato, the mall, the three-level mall Fabricato, all through Puerto del Norte, right? Beautiful city, beautiful place, beautiful people, kind, friendly people. Love the place. And I got plenty of videos to show you. So I'm going to put one together and post it soon. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Gracias la que quina, mi cielo. Let's get into this video right here, and we're going to talk about it.
Sean Diddy Combs denying in court documents that he drugged and sexually assaulted a woman on video decades ago. I take a closer look at Joy Dickerson-Neal, one of the women accusing Sean Combs of assault. Who is she, and how did she come to meet the music mogul? Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Sean Combs recently fired back at a lawsuit filed by Joy Dickerson-Neal. She claimed Combs sexually assaulted her in 1991 while she was on winter break from college. In her lawsuit, first filed in November of 2023, Dickerson-Neal's lawyers wrote, quote, Combs had intentionally drugged Miss Dickerson, resulting in her being in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk, driving first to a music studio where
Hold on, let's stop it right here. Okay, so this is the lawsuit from the female where she claims that he drugged her, right? So let's read it. He drugged her, right? And suing in her being in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk, driving first to a music studio where she could not get out of the car. Combs then proceeded to a place where he was living. So first he took her to a music studio. Then he took her to his house. Then he assaulted her. At the same time, while all this assaulting was going on, he allegedly recorded the assault. So on top of drugging her and doing all these things to her, he allegedly recorded the whole thing and showed it to everybody. Let's get back to it.
She could not get out of the car. Combs proceeded to a place he was staying to sexually assault her, as was his practice, but unbeknownst to Miss Dickerson, Combs video recorded the sexual assault. Days later, a male friend revealed to her that he had viewed the, quote, sex tape along with other men. Horrified, Miss Dickerson asked how many others saw it, to which he responded, quote, everyone. The date Dickerson-Neal filed this lawsuit, November 23rd, 2023, is important for two reasons. First, it came a week after Cassie Ventura, who spent years in a relationship with Sean Combs, sued the rapper, claiming he subjected her to years of sexual and physical abuse and intimidation. Combs settled the suit the next day after denying the allegations and wished Cassie and her family love. At the time, Combs' attorney, Ben Brafman, said in a statement, just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. The second reason that the date that Dickerson-Neal filed her lawsuit is important is because it came as New York's Adult Survivor Act was expiring. That act opened a one-year window in which sexual assault survivors could sue over sexual assaults that had occurred years earlier. In 1991, she said she reluctantly went on a date with Sean Combs. This was a year before he created Bad Boy Records. Dickerson's suit detailed how she grew up in Harlem and went to Syracuse University. She said she became acquainted with Combs after appearing in a music video called Straight from the Soul by Finesse and Sinkus. You can actually see her in screen grabs from the music video sitting in a car with Combs. Dickerson-Neal said in her
Hold on, let's stop it right there. Okay. So why is this important right here? All right. The timing of this is important, and it's important for a couple of reasons. One, statute of limitations. Statute of limitations is important for any crime committed in the United States, pretty much in the world, if I'm correct. But let's keep it within the U.S. jurisdiction, right? Statute of limitations, it can run out. That's why if something, I mean, I can't speak for victims of grape or S assault, and I would never, ever advocate for you to put yourself in a position where you are uncomfortable or don't want to do something you don't want to do. Let's say that, right? But the one thing that is important that everyone has to remember, statute of limitations. Statute of limitations for criminal and civil can run out. So for a criminal case, depending on what it is, statute of limitations sometimes is around 7 years, could be 10 years. Civilly could be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years. It depends. Why is it important in this case right here? Because she waited a very long time to, one, file her lawsuit. Now, she did not report the crime to the police. So it's too late for her to report the crime to the police because statute of limitations ran out. He would not be prosecuted. Just like in the video, the Cassie video, the one that's floating around now in LA in the Intercontinental Hotel. Yeah, it looks bad. He looks horrible. His career is over. He's never going to be able to come back from this again. Blah, blah, blah. That's why you have, as I have said in previous videos, and let the Diddy video be the prime example of why I say what I say. When I say, never put yourself in a position where you have to explain something. Capiche? Never put yourself in a situation to where you have to do some explaining. Because he put himself in a position where he didn't want to hear it, don't nobody believe it. And he still looks bad. Right? Now, everybody's coming out of the yin yang with lawsuits for every little thing. As the lead attorney said, that's a $500 million video. Minimum. $500 million video. Minimum. And he's a billionaire. He just drastically reduced his net worth simply by being ignorant on video. You have to watch what you say, watch what you do, and control yourself. These three things are important when you do these things. You have to watch what you do, watch what you say, and control yourself at all times. Even on YouTube. Even on YouTube. Even on YouTube. Please remember, you have to never put yourself in a, I don't like saying never, don't ever put yourself in a position to where you have to do some explaining. Oh, well, I was this. Don't nobody care. No one cares. All we see is this proof right here that you were acting an ass and you was an idiot at that moment. And at that moment, this is what we're going to remember you as for the rest of your life. You did that at that moment on camera for everybody to see You didn't care. In a towel. Dude, in a towel. You have to control yourself. You have to always be thinking. You cannot be an emotional being. What you saw on that Diddy video was an emotional being. There are lots of people who are emotional beings, right? And you can't be one of them. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my Instagram page. We post shorts on YouTube. Those same shorts we repost on TikTok and Instagram in short form videos. Please make sure that you subscribed over there. All right. Thank you. La que quina, gracias. Also, make sure you are following the Facebook page. Same thing right now. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, right? We're all over the place, broadcasting live as we speak. So, hey, Cat Not Cat Williams, how are you? Hi, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Yes, we're all over the place. Make sure you subscribe and follow me everywhere. Gracias like a kingdom. Yo, you cannot be an emotional being. And what you saw in that Diddy video was an emotional man. I tell people all the time, if you're dealing with an emotional person, run. You will end up in that situation. You will end up in a situation you do not want to be in. And look what she had to endure. And look what the rest of these poor women had to endure that have crossed paths with this man, right? But it's okay. Let's get back to the video and we're going to see what else they have to say about it. All right, back to it.
Complaint that rapper Sister Soulja had actually asked her why she appeared in a music video with Combs. She said she took it as a warning from Sister Soulja. Now, Dickerson Neal claims she knew Combs had a history of treating women poorly, but she said she went out to eat at a restaurant in Harlem with Combs anyway. And then he asked her to go with him.
But I mean, I don't get this sometimes. If you hear that a man has a history of treating women bad, why are you gonna go out with him? I get okay. I get the thrill and the excitement of being with the bad boy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I used to be a trap god. I know how it is out here in these streets, but I ain't never put my hands on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like that, unless you put your hands on me. You know what I mean? You gotta not do stuff like that. Anton Daniels did a video yesterday on the guy that Cassie was with, that she actually stopped dealing with him to deal with Diddy. His name was Ryan Leslie. He's a musical genius, right? And he was a nice guy. He's not a bad boy. He's not none of that, right? But you see what happens when you choose the wrong partner in your life? You end up like this. You go through what she went through. And I don't recommend that for anybody. I don't want to see nobody go through nothing like that. I got daughters. I got granddaughters. I just don't recommend that. I don't.
As he ran some errands. Dickerson Neal said she had left her drink unattended at the restaurant when she went to the restroom. Then when they got into Combs's car, she said he rolled a blunt and she reluctantly took a hit off of it. She said after that, her memory is incomplete. She remembers her legs feeling rubbery after being taken to a recording studio and then a home where Combs appeared to be living. It was in this home that Dickerson Neal claimed Combs assaulted her. She said she couldn't escape the assault and felt embarrassed and ashamed and didn't report it to law enforcement right away. However, the next day she said she told her best friend. Dickerson Neal wrote that shortly thereafter, Devontae Swing, a member of the group Jodeci, told her that Combs had videotaped the assault and had showed it to people. Everyone is what she quoted him as saying. Dickerson Neal said Swing wanted to speak up against Combs, but feared Jodeci, that was his R&B group at the time, would lose its record deal if he did. Dickerson Neal returned to Syracuse University, she said, but memories of the sexual assault became so intense that she became suicidal and entered a psych ward at a local hospital. She claimed to have filed police reports in New York and New Jersey, but was told others would have to corroborate her claims. She also wrote, some potential witnesses were afraid of Combs's wrath, as he was known to be violent, while others declined because they feared they would not be invited to his future parties and events.
Let me stop it right there. See, this is horrible because people knew about it, right? So people knew about what happened. She reported it. They told her she needed witnesses. Devontae from Jodeci told her, I saw the video. We all saw the video, which was embarrassing enough, I'm sure, for her, right? Nothing she could do about that. She ends up going through years and years and years of this. This is horrible. All for nobody to find her credible. This is horrible. Let's get back to the video.
Dickerson Neal also recalled an incident where she said Combs confronted her in public at an event sometime after the alleged sexual assault. Her lawyers wrote, Combs dramatically got down on his knees before insisting that he wanted her to believe him when he said he did not do what she was saying. Dickerson Neal claims her boss at Stress Management, a DJ management company, witnessed this, but she only told her that Combs had wronged her.
This is Nora Tuvu, and it's French designer.
I'm wearing Rick Owens and some Louboutin shoes. What's it like every year?
Now, Dickerson Neal claims that Cassie Ventura filing her Bombshell lawsuit last November actually dredged up all of these memories of her sexual assault and prompted her to face those memories. She claims she wasn't able to complete her college degree at Syracuse because she associated it with the assault. Dickerson Neal's social media accounts show that she is still now living in California after moving there to try her hand at screenwriting, and it doesn't appear that she's had much success with that. Now, another interesting little nugget in Dickerson Neal's complaint is the fact that she said she was digitizing diaries from the early 90s during COVID, but she abandoned that project because it dredged up too many painful memories. It kind of makes you wonder, what's in those diaries? Does it mention anything about this? She also claims to have undergone years of therapy for PTSD. But Combs is now firing back at Dickerson Neal. He's vehemently denying her claims that he sexually assaulted her. He filed a partial motion to dismiss her lawsuit, writing, quote, without addressing the complaint's numerous false, offensive, and salacious accusations, which the Combs defendants vehemently deny, substantially all of the claims purportedly alleged by Joy Dickerson Neal cannot survive this motion to dismiss because they were brought under statutes that did not exist at the time the alleged misconduct occurred and against corporate entities that were not formed or in existence. While Combs denies the sexual assault.
Boom, let me stop it right there. This is important. This goes to what I said about timing. All right, guys? Timing. You understand what I'm saying? Timing is important because, okay. Now that law that allows the women to retroactively file lawsuits against people that have done something to them goes back so far, right? But in this case, I'm trying to think of the word that they used. Basically, she waited so long to file the lawsuit, it didn't cover the time frame that allowed a woman to do that.
I'm not sure what you're trying.
So it because she waited so long to file her complaint, it's basically going to be thrown out because the statute that allows women to file lawsuits only goes back so far. And hers goes back, her complaint starts before the beginning period that statute begins that allows you to do these things, put it that way. So I hate to say it, but they're gonna throw it out. This one is just a case of big bank take little bank, and he's got more money. It's pretty much like Trump doing with all of the other things, the Georgia lawsuit, the New York lawsuit. He's got the money to spend so he can fight the things, right? Common people like us, we can't fight things like this. So we can't fight those type of things forever. But this guy's money is long, so he can fight it for as long as it takes. And because of the limitations in the time frame of which these things occurred, they're basically saying you can't bring forth a lawsuit against something for a reason. You can't use a statute to bring a lawsuit against somebody when the statute wasn't even in existence then. That's basically what it is. It wasn't even in existence, right? So the period of time that this happened before, and now she's pretty much going to be getting her lawsuit thrown out. I hate to say it. Please make sure to subscribe to my Twitter page. We're live on Twitter right now, guys. On X. Please make sure you're subscribed on X. All right. Let me get back to it.
Ever happened. Combs's lawyer also says Joy Dickerson Neal is trying to file a lawsuit citing laws that didn't even exist back in 1991. Quote, while the Adult Survivors Act, or the ASA, revived certain claims for which the statute of limitations has run, the ASA does not permit a plaintiff to revive claims under statutes that did not exist when the purported misconduct allegedly occurred.
Like I just said. Oh my God. So let's go back, because there's a lesson in this. Now, first, while the ASA revived certain claims for which the statute of limitations has run, okay, this means the time frame for her to file any kind of charges or lawsuit against the diddler has ran its course. It's gone. Statute of limitations has ran out. Right? The ASA does not permit a plaintiff to revive claims under statutes that did not exist when she claims basically the things that he did to her happened. Ain't that cold? Ain't that cold? That's cold-blooded right there. Yeah, let them make their living. You know what I'm saying? Let them make their living. But, hey, it's cold-blooded, man. It's cold-blooded. It's a cold world. We just living in it. You know what I'm saying? It's a cold game out here. But this is their, and Cat and I Williams, this is their job too. So this is what they're supposed to do. A good attorney eats things up and keeps their client out of stuff. So with that being said, I'm not mad at the attorney whatsoever. need his number, anything. But I feel bad for her because if she would have came forward back then, maybe he wouldn't have got away with this for so long, and maybe something could have happened. But that's neither here nor there, right? Oh, but you can't file charges for her. A charge you can't. It's crazy. Basically, they're saying you can't file charges for a crime that didn't exist. That's basically what it is, right? Yep. That's basically what they're saying here. Let's get back to it. But they're going to throw this out.
Statutes that did not exist when the purported misconduct allegedly occurred. The 4 statutes underlying plaintiff's claims were enacted years after the 1991 conduct alleged in the complaint, and they cannot be retroactively applied to that alleged conduct absent clear legislative intent. Now, those statutes include laws governing revenge porn, and that's a relatively new term for when someone uses a sexual encounter or nude pictures of somebody or videos to harass and embarrass a person. Dickerson Neal also cited the New York Services for Victims of Human Trafficking law and the New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection law. Those were all enacted years after this alleged sexual assault occurred in 1991. And Bad Boy Records is also named in the lawsuit. That's Combs's record company. But his lawyers say there's a problem with that too. They say Bad Boy Records was actually formed after the alleged assault occurred, which Combs, of course, denies ever happened. And he said Dickerson Neal's suit doesn't make any claims against Bad Boy Records. I want to bring in Robin Nunn. She's a litigator, and I want to talk with you, Robin, about this case. How difficult is it to bring a civil case when the allegation is this old? This happened in 1991, according to Joy Dickerson Neal. That is more than 30 years ago.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I think that this is an extremely difficult case, besides the fact that it's so personal and involves such a sensitive act and crime. But just the sheer duration and time that has gone on since this happened makes it really hard to bring in evidence and witnesses and materials that would corroborate this story, just based on that it's been over 30 years since this act took place.
Joy Dickerson Neal claims that there were people who saw the sex tape that Sean Combs made, or this recording, this video that he recorded of the sexual assault back in 1991. I think back and I think that had to have been like a VHS, a camcorder, if that indeed happened. Sean Combs is saying it didn't happen. And she's claiming there is somebody who told her that he saw it. Would that make her case any easier, or is it difficult because it's just so old?
I think that any corroborating evidence helps her case. You don't want these cases to rely exclusively on he said, she said information, which is often the case in these sexual assault and rape crimes. If there is someone else who saw this or can testify to having a conversation and hearing about it, it's always better for the case if there is some corroboration of her memory and her recollections of what exactly transpired.
Sean Combs is firing back at this, of course. He's denying that this sexual assault happened. I mean, we know they actually obviously knew each other. There's a music video that they are featured in together from 1991. I mean, decades and decades ago. So they did cross paths at some point in time. We know that from this music video. But he is saying, look, this should be tossed out not only because it's not true, but she's citing laws that didn't even exist back then. And this is not about the Adult Survivors Act that opened up the year.
Oh, let me stop it right there. And see, that's the problem with the time frame of her lawsuit, because even civilly, she can't even win any monetary damages civilly because the statute of limitations right now is 30 years old. It's a 30-year-old case. It's a wrap. Criminally, it's definitely a wrap, but even now she's suing. She's one of the many women that are suing him for grape or assault, however we want to put it, right? But the laws didn't even exist for the crime she's trying to sue him for. So even civilly, it's not even possible, and they're gonna throw us out. They're gonna throw it out. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Thank you for everybody that is watching right now. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we go live over here. Next week, we're coming back with a Nathan Wade video, so be prepared. We ain't done with them yet. The Fannie Willis saga continues, and we're gonna drag it on up in here. So make sure you guys stay tuned and be ready to give me your comments on that. I need people to come through. Cat Knight Williams, I need you to come through then too. Give me some honest commentary on that too. All right. You guys that are watching this on the replay, if you're watching this on the replay, let me know your thoughts on this Diddy situation in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what's going on. Is he not the worst? Right? I mean, we've had the R. Kellys, we've had the Harvey Weinsteins. Does Diddy take the cake? That's what I want to know. Right? Is he the worst of them all? What is your opinion on that? Let me know what you think about that. What are your thoughts? Also, the email is at the bottom. If you run across some content, are you here for all the oh yeah, I got some Nathan T coming, trust me. I got some Nathan Wade T coming. He's horrible, boy. This is another one. And the email is down below on the in the banner below. If you run across content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere, and you feel like it'll be a great something good to talk about over here on this channel, email me. I check that email all the time, even when I'm in Colombia with my fiance. I check that email all the time. So if I review it and I feel like it's something that is going to be, well, first off, professional, right? Because that's what we do over here. You know, we might have nomadic mindsets, but we try to keep it a little bit professional. You know, we have a sense of humor. You know what I mean? But we try to keep it a little professional here, so we're not going to be too outlandish over here. We're going to act like we got some manners, right? We're not going to be too ratchet with it. But what we will do is we will go over it if it's good enough and it's professional enough to be talked about, because we don't want YouTube to shut us down because we're just trying to start, if that makes sense. So send it to the email. I'll check it out and review it. And if it's some good juicy stuff, guess what I'm gonna do? We're gonna talk about it on here. So there you go. If you want to see some content review, email me. That's the email. Let me know. All right. Like I said, this channel is a channel for the people. If it was not for the people, we would not be here. Right? So we do this for you. We do this for all the nomadic mindseted people like myself and others. So make sure you share this, tell a friend, tell them come on over here. That way we can gather them around. And like I said, once this channel get monetized, I'm gonna offer memberships, and membership's gonna automatically, once you select a membership, you'll automatically be added to the Nomad Worldwide WhatsApp group. Yeah, we got a WhatsApp group, the Nomad Worldwide WhatsApp group. That WhatsApp group is strictly for collaborating, though. It's not for social. You know, it's social business. It's for people that want to network, find opportunities all across the world. So we're going to have to grow this together, because this is a free group. It's not something we're charging for. right? This ain't something you're being charged for unless you pick a YouTube membership, right? But the only people that will be added to the group are people that are willing to collaborate and network, right? That's it. We're not on there sharing Instagram memes and things like that. That's not what we're doing in this group, because we're all people and we're all trying to get ahead one way or the other. But let's get back to the video. The goal is to help each other, and we need to collaborate and network as much as possible.
Long window to file civil claims. He's talking about, she's citing the revenge porn law. She's also citing the New York Services for Victims of Human Trafficking law and the New York City Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection law. These are all laws or acts or what have you that were implemented years and years and years after this alleged assault occurred. So they're saying the Adult Survivors Act doesn't like make those laws, it doesn't backdate them to 1991. Would you agree with Sean Combs's argument on that front, or do you think she has a point there?
I understand Sean Combs's argument in that it wasn't perhaps even thought of as a crime at that time. I'm not sure that I'm convinced by that, however. Obviously, we all know, especially as women, that laws have evolved. You and I probably couldn't vote at one point in time. I could, have been a slave at another point in time. I think that we are very happy that things are where they are.
Don't do that. Just answer the damn question, lady. You didn't have to bring up no slavery or the fact you couldn't vote once upon a time. Do you agree with it? Yes or no? Like, come on now, you're being a little too dramatic. Jesus Christ, man.
Are right now, and that is 2024. And if this is something that is indeed a crime now, if the statute has been written such that it applies retroactively back to 1991, then I think that it does apply to Mr. Combs in this situation. Now, if he is indeed correct and that, it's one of those that becomes effective in, 2030 or 2025, then he has, managed to escape on, sort of a technicality. However, I don't think that a criminal law such as this would have an effective date that is not all the way back to when this would have happened. I find that I doubt that. But I do understand his argument that the law didn't exist at the time that the crime supposedly occurred.
That's all you
It's
had
been
to
awfully
say.
quiet since the raid. Does that say anything to you, or do you think the feds are working on this? It might take time to evaluate anything that was seized. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I might be in the minority about this, but I think that it speaks volumes. I think that if the feds indeed found incriminating information on his phone, in his homes, through other witnesses, through the cameras, through documents, that they would have been compelled to seek an indictment and have him arrested. And the fact that nothing has occurred as far as we can tell, despite obviously having this search warrant and having, I believe, 4 anonymous witnesses that had come forward just to speak with the feds, that there's been no arrest or indictment. I think that says a lot. Either there are some theories that they're still building a case, that there's a lot of information to go through. But I'm not sure that I buy that exactly. I think that if there was something incriminating, they would have moved quickly. I don't think that they would have sat on information that clearly showed that there was, sex trafficking, human trafficking going on through these various residences and by this individual.
Robin Nunn, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. I appreciate it. We'll have to wait and see as the months move on whether or not anything will happen.
Yes, I agree. Thanks. It's great being here.
While Combs is under criminal investigation by the Department of Homeland Security, he hasn't been charged with any crimes. It's important to note that. And he has denied the allegations of sex trafficking and assault that so many people have made against him. I want to also point out that I've reached out to the people Joy Dickerson Neal has named as witnesses in this case. At the time of this recording, Those people had not returned my messages or calls, and neither had Joy Dickerson Neal or her attorneys. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Thanks.
So we're going to stop this video right there. All right, guys. Once again, please make sure you are subscribed to my Instagram page. All right. Gracias, mi cielo. Gracias. So here's my opinion on it. But before I give it to you, I want you to tell me what you think about it. Leave a comment below and give me your opinion on why you think they have not pressed any charges against Diddy yet. All right. I'm going to give you my honest to God opinion on this situation. You might like it, you might not. But here it goes. They don't got shit. The only thing they had, they leaked, which was the Cassie video. They have nothing else. They're trying to... God, forgive me. I'm getting over a cold. I was sick in Colombia. They're trying to build a RICO against Diddy. They might succeed. They might not. But as far as everything else, they don't have shit. They don't have no evidence. They have nothing. If you listen to the King Combs rap song, they raided the wrong house. They should have raided the house next door. They might would have had something. They hit the wrong house. The fucking police. They hit the wrong houses. They hit the wrong houses. They hit the wrong houses. They don't got nothing. They showed their hand. They blew it. Only thing they had was the cassette tape, and they leaked it. They leaked it. That's all they got. That's why you have not heard anything about anything until the cassette tape hit, because there's nothing. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the video. I'm gonna jump off here. I've been on here about an hour. If you want, like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment below. All right. Salute. Thank you for everybody coming through. Thank you for everybody that's going to be watching this on the replay. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button.